That's the very latest in the First Alert Forecast Center. Aliana will send things over to you.
All right, Darren, thanks so much. Well, it's important to keep your family healthy and safe at home, and that's true as well for your four-legged friends. And experts say maintaining good nutrition habits for your pup can actually make a considerable difference in their lives. And joining me now to talk about this morning is Frances Schroeder. She's here from the Dogologist in Canton. Good morning, Frances. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. So we're talking about a difficult topic here. A lot of people don't like to think that their pets can, come down with cancer, but it's a very serious issue, and we don't want our pets to become a statistic. So what are the best ways to combat that?
Well, with all of the options out there for pet health, it's a little bit scary that our dogs are actually sicker right now than they've ever been. Diabetes, according to studies out of the UK, are up 900%, obesity up 60%, and cancer rates right now are 1 out of every 2 dogs.
Wow.
As half of the dogs in America will get cancer. So there are things that we can do, and the simplest thing would be to add to their existing diet. We have a saying at Dogology, better is better. So adding real, fresh food is one of the best things we can do.
And that's a good place to start, and you and I were talking about it a bit before the break, and I know you've got some fresh leafy greens here on your lap. So talk to us about what you have here and why and how we can kind of incorporate this into our everyday lives to make it easy for people.
Of course. So these are organic greens, chard, kale, parsley. These are things we can find at the supermarket. We can make little green smoothies for our dogs, since we're making smoothies for ourselves anyway. Maybe put in a little bone broth or coconut oil for them so that it's palatable. So by adding these fresh phytonutrients and greens, you reduce the risk of cancer anywhere from 70% to 90%.
Wow.
So this is out of
daily?
Yes, so even 3 times a week. So out of Purdue University, they have a study that says cancer rates are reduced 90% if we just add leafy greens. And these are just sitting at the supermarket. Organic, of course, is better. We do need to break it down. I sort of joke about smoothies, but it needs to be broken down for dogs who don't process cellulose very well. So steamed, pureed, somehow broken down, add it to your dog's food, and they will reap the benefits.
That's amazing. And I know a lot of us, and I was telling Frances myself that, we buy the really healthy dog food that we think is, amazing and great. And it is. A lot of dog food is really good for you, but it's so much better to add the greens to the dog food. Like you mentioned with the beef, add it with like beef sauce or anything that can kind of break it down a little bit. So.
Exactly, make it palatable for them. Right.
And that's awesome. And I know you're talking about, big numbers in terms of reducing cancer, which is huge. And a lot of people struggle when they make it to that area in terms of what to do when their dog comes down with cancer.
So we can help at Dogology with therapeutic diets if the dog develops cancer. But if we can avoid the dog ever getting there just by adding fresh foods and green phytonutrients. The nutrients in fresh food is more easily assimilated by dogs than synthetic vitamins, which are in kibble. Has to be added to dry food because the nutrients are basically gone after it's cooked. So we can add fresh very easily, and we can help you with all sorts of ways at Dogology, little tricks to make it palatable.
And we'll pull up your Facebook page so that way you guys know how to reach the Dogologist in Canton. They can have all the information you need, and when it comes to training, diet, everything you need to know, they can help you guys out. Thank you so much for being here this morning, Frances. We really appreciate it. Definitely add those greens to the food. All right, we'll be right back after the break.